what should enterprises do now in their current journey? Now here we start seeing that digitization of the core is now a need rather than a nice to have. So we have reached a point with most customers agreeing, or at least coming to understand, that the core has to be digitized, and the process of doing that is sometimes more difficult than they originally thought, or there are better options that SAP is proposing these days. So what does digitization of core mean? Like what I already told you, this is, at least in the current context of where we are, it is more about having microservices embedded architecture where data is seamlessly exchanged between core and edge, not necessarily replicated between the two, because that gives a unique set of problems by itself. So the best way of digitizing the core is to have an architecture that seamlessly exchanges data but not replicates it, and also a core that is fully transformed when it comes to machine learning, when it comes to artificial intelligence, for example, when it comes to a little bit of predictive analytics, things like this. These are all beginning to take shape and form within the core itself. So these were actually considered to be difficult to be integrated within the core initially when this journey started, but then SAP has started integrating most of these libraries into the core itself. Thanks to the development of S/4HANA, SAP is now able to push a lot more of the functions that are packed in that was previously available only on the SAP Cloud Platform, for example. All of that is now beginning to be available on the latest versions of 1709. Now, Postmodern ERP, in addition to being built on microservice architecture, also allows for seamless integration between the edge and the core. So that's precisely what we are now talking about. And this gives us so much more flexibility today in digitizing the edge itself, because when the core is connected seamlessly to your edge applications, it also means that digitization of the edge can go much more faster, and you can have much more of your open-ended applications moving very, very quickly to the cloud itself. Now, enterprises must look quickly before moving towards the path of the edge of digitization. So this is also a very essential criteria where they have to look deeply into the core to see what kind of processes they want to change as they move to a newer core. Or in some cases, we have seen that the business has not actually changed so much, but it's only probably vastly increased in terms of spread and volume, but the process itself is not changed. But in other cases, we also see that ECC implemented maybe 12-15 years ago is really not relevant anymore. Too much of customization, too much of custom development. We've seen all of these use cases. So that itself needs to have a complete change in some cases. But then again, the question is which way to go. To achieve 100% of digitization of the edge, digitization of the core is a mandatory thing to do today. So that enterprises are beginning to be aware of this, that they cannot proceed very quickly with the digitization of the edge without touching the core itself. Digitization of your core is updating your core ERP system with a postmodern ERP like S/4HANA. Now, this is the biggest challenge that customers are facing today on how to get to this point. The realization is there, they understand the need, but how to get there is the biggest question. And what is the real business value that S/4HANA gives you?